Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today, I have a 7v7 custom match here on the most amazing new access map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 in the north and ending with Team 2 in the south. Starting off with Team 1's eastern side, we have in Amethyst Purple, it is Average Smurf Enjoyer. He is a Cybran for this match as a 1700. To his northwest, we have in Stage Blue is One Big Andy as a UEF. He is an 1100. Taking a look in the southwest direction, we have Tetra playing as a Seraphim in Regal Purple as a 1200. In the middle here for Team 1, we have in Snow White, it is Rot playing as a Seraphim as well as a 1400. In Emerald Green to his west, playing as an Aeon, it is Orb. He is a 2200 rated player, tied for the highest rated player on his team, and tied for the highest rated player overall with another player on his team and on Team 2. To his northwest, we have in Batman Gray, it is Brittle, playing as an Aeon. He is a 1300. And rounding out Team 1's western side in Dropper Ocean Blue, it is the Wreck, playing as a Cybran. He is a 2200. Tied with the Orb for highest rated player on his team, and tied with one other player in the game for highest overall. So over Team 1 side of the map, they have at least one of each of the factions. There's only one UEF on that team, though, and everything else is two. So 2 Aeon, 2 Cybran, and 2 Seraphim. Taking a look at Team 2's western side, we'll do in Ruby Red, it is Boss 1100. He is not an 1100. He is actually a 1500, playing as a Seraphim. In Lattice Red, pink to his southeast, is Reckoner playing as a Cybran. He is a 1500. To his northeast, we have in Rust, it is Bannable Offense playing as a UEF, definitely a sensible choice for Navy. He is in Rust. He is a 2200, the highest rated player on Team 2, and tied with Orb and the Wreck for highest rated player overall. To his southeast in Royal Blue, it is Ryguys playing as a Cybran as a 1300. And in Pac-Man Yellow to his east, we have Twitchy Muffa playing as a Cybran. He is a 1500. Continuing on southeasterly, we have in Emerald Green, but Forest Green, the best color in all of Spring Commanderdom. He is Hyper 2001, playing as a Seraphim for this match. And to his northeast in Orange Color Orange, to his north, making his way to the water, it is Sarge AFK Dad. He is an 1800, again in orange, the color orange. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have 2 Seraphim, 3 Cybrans, 2 UEF, no Aeon Tech for Team 2. And for these 14 players on the map, let's take a look at the reclaim situation. Currently sitting at 13,000 mass in reclaim, which makes it just about 1,000 mass per player. And Tetra control case, most likely a connection issue, I would assume. That is definitely unfortunate. Play on. This is play on. Yeah. So it looks like he has some sort of connection issue. Unfortunately, that means Team 1 will be the first team to suffer a loss. I do not count those as kills. Connection situations like that are not enjoyable for anybody, including the team and the player with which the team is on. So it is, again, 6v7 in favor of Team 2, but no official kills have been had so far. Taking a look at where our players are headed off to in this game, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them in the water, 3 of them of which going for some sort of naval presence in the west. We have Bannable Offense going for his naval facilities, and then we see Boss going for his, with possibly Regather moving in. He is going for his Navy. So 3 players in the west for Navy for Team 2, 3 players in the east for Navy as well, with 1 additional player hanging out in the water. For Team 1, 2 players have dipped their toes in the Navy on the eastern side. Transports are inbound. Looks like they're going for the reclaim up there, but no other players going into water yet for Team 1. Western side, we have 1 player down the middle, and the other 2 players on the western side both getting into Navy. So advantage in Navy for Team 2, both on the west and in the east. 1 player down the middle. But there's not that many mexes to grab in the middle besides the Trimex position a little bit towards the middle here. Orb doesn't really have anything else to grab unless he wants to venture all the way across, seeing the Maginot, the 50% horizontal mark, and go after that Trimex position. Speaking of mexes, of course, there are also 2 Trimex positions on the eastern side, both currently being grabbed most likely by Sarge. Western side, there is a tiny little twin mechs, and of course most of the mechs reside in the main bases, so not a lot of expansions to go after, but hey, there's something at least for some players to grab. And we do see some inbound units here on the eastern side here for Team 2, trying to just slowly pick out what Team 1's up to. We do see it is Sliver versus Sliver, 400 and falling, but it looks like that Sliver from Team 2, I think, will barely win that fight. Gun start in the middle here for Orb, trying to secure the middle of the map, and it does look like we have a observer in this game. Looks like Blarg is observing, so it'll say the upgrade messages twice, so just be aware of that. We do see a bomber will be killed off by nice little Team 1 AA emplacement here for Boss. No other upgrades have made their appearance as of yet that I have noticed. Again, I will miss stuff. It is 14 players, technically 13 now, so I do apologize ahead of time, and hopefully you will forgive me, and hopefully you will enjoy it nonetheless. Gun started as well for Orby, going from his speed upgrade to his range upgrade. He might actually push the middle. Will that work? I don't really know. Again, Navy on both sides is very similar to Settons, and this tiny little avenue is if one team has any sort of presence either on the west or in the east, it's just not going to work long term. So maybe early aggression. We do see Bannable Offense going middle as well. And again, he will be down a little bit in the range and speed department, but I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for gun here shortly. We do see more units inbound to try to just poke and prod at Team 1's defenses on the eastern side, but it doesn't look like they have enough firepower as of yet. It is, again, 2 players in Navy, but to be fair, one of those players, that being Rot, does have a second base, or almost an entire second base, so his eco will flourish a little bit faster than his opponents. Western side, more pushing in. Lots of just full sending it, going from Team 2, trying to do as much damage as possible to any sort of infrastructure being built. We do see a little bit more sub-spam for Team 1 than Team 2, at least currently engaged. There are more subs back here, so lots, of course, of units that cannot be targeted only, of course, by other torpedo-capable ships or aircraft, like the Torp bombers, T2, and, of course, the T3 department as well. We do see that Orb is pushing, and Team 2's Bannable Offense has nothing to defend against that push, so that will be a win for Team 1. It will knock out a Trimix position, and I don't think they're going to get a kill, but at a minimum they will push back the middle and gain some sort of advantage on land for now. We do see those units again getting closer and closer on the western side for Team 2. Eastern side, it's definitely more of a standoffish position here. Team 1 has claimed the closer upper plateau. Team 2 has done the same. Team 2 looks like they have a couple of raids inbound from one Big Andy. Looks like he'll get maybe 1 or 2 mexes, but nothing really more than that, I would surmise. And we do see Orb continuing to push against Bannable Offense. Bannable Offense has T2 Navy as well as his compatriot of Boss, as well as Sarge. Team 1, T2 Navy is soon to be online. Yep, there it is right there, and there it is right there, and there it is right there, and not yet on that western side. Torpedo being built on board the Cybran commander of the wreck to help assist with defense and offensive operations over there. And still the pushing commences. We have Rye guys coming out of the water to help out, thin at least a little bit of the numbers out. T2 Navy might be a target here for Team 1. Trying to wipe that out in Navy would be very, very nice. Engineers trying to halt the construction of that destroyer. At least, no, that is the destroyer, not the cruiser. We'll see if Bannable Offense gets anything more out of that. No other assistance nearby here for Team 2. We do see Rector coming in to assist. We also see Rye guys coming in. So we could see a possible sandwiching going on. Not really a good situation here for Orb or Bannable Offense, especially with that destroyer online. But he did slow down the construction of more units. So it's not a crazy loss in terms of hit points and whatnot. And he is making it back. We even see Rot coming in to assist as well, so it's going to be 2v2 in the middle for now. And those engineers, those blazes still getting past and going to kill off a couple more mexes. Not completely unsuccessful here for Team 1. Regatha going for his gun upgrade as we speak, but no other upgrades have emerged. And now we see Rye guys retreating. He's kind of forced to. We do see Orb trying to intercept. He probably will get maybe a shot off or 2 if he does see him, but he's so far not in range Oh, and then as I speak, he does get fairly into range for a brief moment. We do see Boundable Offense still going after those Blazes. Blazes have killed off one mech, going to kill off a second one. Ooh, no, they don't kill off that second mech. They will kill off another T1. However, Western side, Team 2 still making a little bit more progress on the Western side. And on the Eastern side, kind of the same situation, but I think it's a little bit more stronger in terms of defenses for Team 1 over there. We do see that Team 2's Hyper has gone into Navy as well, going in for a bunch of spam engineers, probably going to race the T2 to help out that side of the map. T3 Air almost done for him. T3 Air not coming online for Rector as of yet, but again, a 7v7 match, definitely kind of expect that. T2 Navy done, sorry, T2 Air done for Twitchy Mofo. T3 Air, no, and no for Team 1. A little bit of a late development for T3 Air for Team 1, I would surmise, just due to the fact that there's 7 players. You would think you want to get the air advantage online immediately. Transport has been spotted. Will it drop units? It does drop a group of T1 tanks. And we'll be able to grab a couple of mechs. It was spotted, so it's not a complete surprise to Team 1, but it does land. Nonetheless, Boundable Offense and Orb still trade shots. Oh, I will say that Orb and Boundable Offense are the first become action. Missiles outbound from the east, going after more and more mechs to continue to just punish Boundable Offense. And Boundable Offense talking about using your comm. And his T2 naval headquarters has been destroyed. Very unfortunate. Not looking good. Drops into the lowish yellows. He does have 1-star veterancy. Working on his second, of course, T1 gunships inbound to help out a little bit. Nano almost done for Rector, and he might full send it into Orb to try to kill him off. But if Team 1's comm of Orb does go into the water, unfortunately, there are units already here that can try to blitz him down with torpedoes. So not a good idea to go in Navy now. Missiles inbound will kill off another facility, really wiping out the naval facilities for Team 2. I mean, I guess primarily just for Boundable Offense, but of course generally for Team 2 over there. Eastern side looking a bit better for Team 1. Lots of spam units online for Rot, as well as a couple of T2s for Average Smurf Enjoyer. We do see Rye Guys inbound. We see Rector inbound again. Rot is also up here. There is no easy way out of here. They have to retreat immediately. It looks like Orb is going to sit for now, but Rod is going to go home. We even see destroyers moving in to intercept and continue to punish these comms and get them to force their way home, because, again, it's just going to be annoying for... that's a long walk. That's a lot of hit points that could be lost. Possible kill? Maybe, maybe not, but we will definitely keep track of that, because that is definitely a concern for at least somebody, because it could be a switcheroo where these comms turn around and kill off maybe Rag Guys. It could easily turn into a counterattack to a counterattack, so that's definitely going to be something that I try to keep my eye on as much as possible. Gun started here and almost half done here for Boundable Offense. Switchmofo done with his nano, started his nano upgrade. He is done with stealth on board. Definitely a smart play going for nano when you have torpedo. It makes sure that you survive a little bit longer, because that number can scale down incredibly fast in Navy. We do see the 2 comms from Team 1 are grouped together and going home. It does look like there's not really that much firepower here, so they probably will get home. And again, the damage done by Team 1's comms and their units and their missiles will be felt for at least a little while longer, while Boundable Offense builds back up to T3 Navy. It is unfortunate, but it does happen, of course. And they really targeted him, and that would make sense because he is the highest rated player on Team 2 by 400 points of rating. So it does, it's not out of the question of why they went after him specifically. The Wreck holding off the inbound force of sub-destroyers from Team 2, as well as, of course, using his comm to direct his forces on the front line of Ladies here. Corsairs inbound going after Orb. Orb suffers a decent chunk, I'd say about 25 or so hit points lost roughly. And I will mention that the Wreck does not have nano, so again, like I said, definitely a smart play to go for nano. Orb falling into the red. He could be the first departure of the game. First kill of the game, not departure. We have Salem's bombarding the shield. He either sits there or he doesn't sit there. We have Team 1 interceptors inbound, as well as interceptors inbound from Orb. The shield is down. Orb is down to 500 hit points. Those Corsairs need to be taken out immediately, but I don't think they'll be taken out before his secondary, the tertiary passes, I should say, are inbound. 1 is enough, and that'll be it. Team 2 scores the first kill of the game. And it is now a 7v5 in Team 2's favor. That is a decent amount of comms to be ahead this early in the game at 16 minutes almost. But again, I don't really count Tetra because like essentially a minute or two departure, it's again, that's the second base for somebody immediately. That really can play a difference later on. As we see with Team 1 starting to really push back. 2 players mainly for Navy, but we should see 3 here shortly from Rye Guys. But with that kill, that means that there is 1,2200 on each team remaining. That's the wreck for Team 1. And of course, Boundable Offense for Team 2. Boundable Offense is going to push into the middle, get some reclaim, and try to rebuild his naval forces there. Torpedo started on board. Rekather's calm. And he's going to pop into Navy. He has gun and nano already on board. 78 hit points a second region is a decent amount to have in Navy. Eastern side, we see those shield boats as well as a decent amount of destroyers from both teams. It is Seraphim and Cybran Tech versus Cybran and UEF Tech. And I love the Uashavo? Maybe that's how you say that. The destroyers from the Seraphim faction. Very, very good units. One of the reasons why I love the Neptune so much from the UEF. One of the reasons. It's not always. It's not the big thing. It is definitely a part of it for sure. Torpedo almost done on board. Rekather's comm in the middle. And we see lots of T1 sub-spam. And there are, of course, torp defenses on board the destroyers, which will help cover the comm a little bit over there. And no T3 Navy yet. Usually we see T3 Navy upgrade starts about 20 or so minutes, but some players do go for early T3 upgrade. That is a trend that I have seen in some games, not all games, but some games that actually have Navy in it. And it's been a minute since we've had a proper Navy match, so it's nice to get that back on the docket. You can see all those torpedoes missing some of their targets. They do grab another destroyer, and it's going to start thinning out those numbers at least a tiny smidge. And we have 4 T2 naval headquarters in the water here, and I think Team 1 is still roughly winning. Torpedoes inbound going for more of the destroyers. They haven't seen the comm yet, but again, Twitch Mofo does have nano on board, so even if he took a chunk of hit point loss, he'll regen that very, very quickly. Anyways, and he'll gain some veterancy as he kills off units with, or at least helps kills off units with the torpedo upgrade. Team 1 has some light defenses here remaining, but ooh, Boundable Offense drops into the low reds. Ooh, I did not notice that. Good thing I caught that before he died. That would have been awkward. At least a little bit. I will add it in if I do miss a kill, of course. And he's going to go into the water. He's going to sit there for a while, I would imagine. But has to be careful. There are inbound units from Team 1 over here. Rekather does have, of course, the torpedo on board and nano as well. And it's not super, super effective. And there's a lot of torp defenses for all of these units. He's not doing terrible. He's dropped into the yellow, but he is getting even some veterancy. He's at 1 star now. Not looking too good though. That number dropping very, very quickly. Number go down is bad. Number go up is good. Rekather dropping into the low-ish reds here. Ooh, 1,000 hit points or so remaining. He is probably going to die here. First kill of the game on Team 1's side of the map goes to one of the 2 naval players over here, the Wreck. So it is now a 5v6 in Team 2's favor still. But again, that is one of the very, very, very big dangers of going Cybran torpedo is, you know, a half a dozen destroyers can just wreck you because you're not killing off the destroyers fast enough with the torpedo because of all the torp defense on board. Great Torsion giving my base. Says Rekather. Looks like it was given over to Boundable Offense. I don't know if that's sarcastic or not. Who knows? T3 Air is done here for him, and T3 Air is done in the east for Hyper. And that's it for Team 2. Northeast, T3 Air is done. T3 Air is done also for Average Smurfenjoy, which is interesting. And T3 Air is also done for Brittle. So we have 2 main air players for Team 1 and Team 2. I would assume that's a more kind of a secondary, tertiary kind of air player for Average Smurfenjoy. At least go spy planes at this point when you have T3 Tech, because why not? I was aimed down. I'm not sad about it. That won us the game, says Rekather. Oh, he's talking about taking out all those destroyers, maybe? Maybe that's what he meant. Who knows? And the game has kind of dulled down a little bit just due to the fact that, again, players are focusing a little bit more on eco as well as getting their T3 land or naval headquarters online. T3, nope. T3, nope. T3, almost probably. T3, no. And T3, no. T3 started for anybody yet? I'd kind of be surprised if no one starts any upgrade here shortly. That one is idle. That one's still holding position. Oh, this one. Hey, there we go. T3 Cybern technology has been started by Team 2 on the western side for Bannable Offensive. We have some Solaces inbound. Very good unit. Unique, of course, to the Aeon in the air department with their massive amounts of damage that they can do. That cruiser is down for the count. And there's not really a lot of AA over here to deal with the last remaining bombers. Eastern side continuing to, looks like it's going to now favor Team 2. Fuchimofo in the mix to assist, and he's got no mass killed with his comm yet, so maybe he's starting to rethink that upgrade maybe. And again, he is in the water. He's going to hit an engagement here shortly, so we'll see how much damage he actually does. But a little bit of help is better than nothing. I would feel like those Seraphim units, especially the regen ore upgrades, probably would be the best upgrade overall in Navy, just because they can, again, keep units alive longer, especially when you go for the large amounts of regen that you can do with those things. So I feel like, again, it's nice to have a weapon in the water at a minimum with Cybern, but once it's mainline T2, it's kind of not really useful at that point. But no, those are my 2 cents as a caster and whatnot. But attack missile base inbound to the northwest here from Team 2 says, right, guys, going after more mexes. Kills off the T3 air quarters for Brittle. Nice grab there. That's another T2 mech dead. Nice grab. But I'm seeing more and more of those tac missile bases. And if you haven't seen the video that I think some of you know I'm referring to, very good video. The last, like, 10 minutes is insane. Again, play of the year in that game. I might even just rename the title of that video to be Play of the Year is Here. So I don't know. I might do that after I record this video. Just change the title, because why not? Because honestly, I really do think it is Play of the Year. It is very masterfully crafted, that game. Ooh, just so good. Anyway, western side, destroyers versus destroyers. Again, the sub-destroyers on the western side staying alive a little bit longer because of torpedoes, because they're not being shot up by all the other weapons. Another set of Solaces inbound, and they're not going after anything yet. So we'll see what's up with that. They haven't. I mean, you would think they go after the the headquarters or something else. T3 Navy is down in the west for both Team 1 and Team 2. Eastern side, no T3 Navy yet. There's a lot of back and forth still, which is why I'm surprised that one player hasn't gone for it just yet. But of course, the air player definitely would make sense. He's not going for it, but still kind of surprised. Saw that TML, says no one did anything about it, says the wreck. I'm surprised no TMLs are being launched at him over there, but they might be out of range. Nope, that is the wrong team. No, that's definitely in range. I don't know why. I don't know why they're going after it. Oh, they did go after it. I see the T2 mexes, T1 mexes. There is some TMD hid in the mist of that. Looks like TMD has been built over here to protect. So missiles are now kind of useless now in that position, but hey, it did do a lot of damage nonetheless. Lots of cruiser missile spam in the east here for Team 2's Hyper 2001. Also getting, of course, AA doubles that for sure with those units. That's why I feel like the UEF cruiser and Seraphim 1 are the two best ones in the game, just because they have essentially two different main weapons. They have the AA weapon, of course, and the cruiser missile, which is just infinite and punishing and very just constant spam. We do see western side Exodus going after Salem's and Valiants. I do find it funny that it's Valiant class and then it's just oh, actually there's a Salem class. Does the Exodus class show those? Yeah, so I guess it's just the Seraphim that are just the names. There's no classes. Maybe it's just the way they did the naming scheme for the additional faction, the fourth faction, after they added it with the DLC. But Here she is. One Big Andy has produced the Atlantis-class experimental aircraft carrier. I believe the first experimental in the game, if I'm not mistaken, which is rare to see a naval one. But I guess settings, that's kind of fair that it does happen a lot. But in different kinds of matches like these, where it's, I guess it depends on the map. Anyway, I'm just going to just stop digging myself into a hole and just move on. Look at that cruiser spam, just wiping out multiple of those destroyers in one go. The, of course, downside with the Atlantis is it does not have torp defense, which means you just get a bunch of T2, T3 torp bombers, call it a day, as well as ground firing. Of course, there really is no protection for that unless you're very, very far below the surface, which I don't think any unit that can get beneath the surface of the waves can actually get that far under it to avoid that. Second Atlantis being built, says right, guys, and it not actually is it built, being built, it is built. Third one is underway, and it's already, wow, One Big Andy is really pumping a lot of mass into that thing, not a lot into his T3 air facility, so it looks like really one air player for Team 1, and that is going to be Brittle. Team 2 de facto, if Team 2's Battle Offense is not building stuff, a lot of ASFs, is just going to be won by Team 2 for air department there. But we do see some ground firing going on. I think a tiny smidgen for that Atlantis. It is taking a decent chunk in hit point loss, almost below 25% hit points, or sorry, below 75%. Almost taking 25% hit points. But at 26 minutes, almost even on the clock, Team 1 has lost 2 players, that being Orb and a disconnect by Tetra. Team 2 has lost Rekather and is making it 5v6. Eco situation about dead, even slightly behind by Team 2, but again, slightly. Let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. And of course, if you haven't done so already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. Hopefully you have enjoyed. Let me know, of course. And of course, if you have a replay that you want to send me, please send it to me at strategiclaunchreplays@gmail.com. It is in the description, so that way you can just copy paste it and not have to like just type it out. It's a lot easier. Control C, Control V, 2 of the best shortcuts on any computer ever, regardless if it's PC or Mac. Well, I think it's for Mac it's Command C and Command V, but tomato potato, it's the same thing. Eastern side, those Atlantis actually being held quite well by Team 2's combined Cybrin, UEF, and Seraphim fleet. And we do see they are being ground fired. Actually, no, they're not being ground fired, just looks like they are. And all of those battleships are, there's no battleships, the destroyers are being killed off. There is a Neptune class battle cruiser in the mix. Love to see that ship be deployed. Western side, 4 Galaxy class ships are online for battle. We have 1 Galaxy dead here for the wreck. It is now a wreck. There's the joke. Doo-doo-ch. And then now another Galaxy is pushing. Lots and lots of little yellow dots trailing around the map. The simulated shots are amazing in this game. Adds a degree of randomness to the game, at least a tiny smidgen of it. Tons of bombers inbound from Hyper. Wipes out the second of the third. And will soon wipe out the third with some assistance from the Twitchy Mofo. Again, you have to get your own Torp bombers if you're playing in Navy. It is essentially an absolute thing. It's just a lot easier to produce your own versus rely on anybody else. Yes, I was being built and produced by Rot. That's going to help out a little bit with a lot of firepower from below the surface, but again, a little bit weak to torpedoes because they again have small health pools. Nonetheless, they do have torp defense, but again, are weak, and they do have AA on board if they not submerge, but emerge from the water. Again, 4,000 hit points. Not a lot of hit points when you consider 4,000 is less than what a Salem has. So, and that's a T3 unit versus a T2. 10% of what an Atlantis starts out with 0 efficiency. Western side, 3 versus 3. And I would assume more being built all the time by Bannable Offense. I think he's given up his UEF facility, unfortunately, as he's kind of getting destroyed multiple times. T2 started for his comm. And so far, no big ticket items yet for Team 2 that I can see. Team 1, are you producing anything big in the background? No. No and no. Yeah, nothing big yet. But again, we're only at 28 minutes. The game goes on for about another 20 minutes, so crazier things have happened in a short amount of time. Another set of bombers inbound going after the S as they've emerged from the water, deploying their AA weapons. Unfortunately, Some of them will not make it home and will not be able to tell their families of their heroic service, or at least the heroic service of their compatriots. Oh, some of them do survive. Look at that. I was surprised that actually a lot more of them made it out than initially anticipated. Short bomber is going to get shot out pretty much before they have a chance to deploy those bombs. Again, it's about dead even on that western side for Team 1 and Team 2. Eastern side, kind of similar thing. More and more Atlantis all the time. I don't know if this is worth it. It's a lot of mass being thrown underneath the surface of the water, and Team 2 is definitely going to scoop all that up. 128, almost 130,000 on the map for Reclaim. Reclaim totals, Team 2 is winning over 20,000 more. And again, that's partially driven by Navy. Navy, of course, per unit has a lot more mass to it. And, of course, those experimentals are not helping that situation, especially for Team 2. That is another dead Atlantis being scooped up. That, well, the Neptunes made it. That one is heavily damaged, that one as well. Team 1 has a couple of buzz kills over here. Has some buzz kills, getting some T2 artillery on the ridgeline. I'm surprised that there's no artillery here, because I feel like, yeah, that could definitely reach the upper plateau there. It's been a minute since anybody died. Hopefully nobody dies surprisingly without me paying attention to it. Hopefully. 30 minutes on the clock. T3 started here for Battle Offense. Third time going for Navy, going straight for T3. Just doesn't even care at this point. Not trying to build T2. It's T3 main stage at this point. And just really wants to keep that facility online. At this point, might as well just build your headquarters back here and build your regular ones up there at this point, because he's lost it 2 times now. Maybe soon to be 3 if those units from the wreck have anything to say about it. And again, slowly pushing in lots of Yasows, lots of torpedo-capable ships being produced by Team 1, but they are losing ground. Battleship is online. Does Team 2? Yes, Team 2 has their own battleships. We have Hyper providing the AA control and the missile nonsense. We have the Twitch Mofo producing battleships. We have battle cruisers, Voice Sarge, and then we have more T2 units from both Twitchy and from Ryguy. So everybody kind of has their role that they're doing on that eastern side. So I'd love to see the dissemination? The distribution of responsibilities for Team 2. We do see an Atlantis trying to come and just go on the eastern side here. Don't know if that's really going to work. The missiles are going to be more than enough to pierce the shielding and start ripping apart all of those clink hammers, and it's just going to be one after the other after the other. I'm surprised to not see any experimentals from Team 2. We do see one being built in the crab department for Twitchy Mofo. And western side, there is a Tempest that has been thought about, at least for Brittle. So we will see if he ends up building it or not. Usually if it's planned, it usually gets built. T2 Torp Bombers inbound probably for the headquarters, but I don't think they're going to do enough damage to kill it off. Lots of them die before they can deploy their torpedoes. And about not even 25% damage done to that thing. Unfortunate. Probably would have been better to target maybe an Atlantis, target more Yasows, target something else at that point. I do understand getting the facility locks Team 1 out of T3 Navy for average Smurf, but lots of AA on that run did not help out. T3 Navy is done, and Team 2's Battle Offense still trying to hold the line with hover spam, but there's really not that much left. There's now artillery shots raining in from the Salems to the north and Exodus as well. And like I said, I don't think it's going to happen. He's trying to make it happen. Fetch isn't going to happen. And that is going to be unfortunate. We do see some Torp Bombers inbound for him, but not before that facility will go up in flames and will die for a third time. He'll slow it down a tiny smidgen, but now it's in the red and it's falling, and it is gone. There it goes. Unfortunate, but it does happen, of course, as we just saw. Nice little destroyer over here going after some nexus, but gets wiped out before it can really accomplish its goal. Chicken online for Team 2's Hyper. Crab is still in the red. The Chicken does not have torpedo weapon systems on board, but if we can at least get it to here, the Ion Storm might be able to hit it if it's on land, or just full send it, distract. The Ion Storm does pop up to the surface of the water, so it can still activate. It's actually semi-useful in that regard. And we have lots of torpedoes killing off all of these Salems, all of these Sirens as well. couple of battleships now online for Hyper. So we have 4 battleships for Team 2. We have 3 for Team 1 plus 2 Atlantis and a hefty amount of Yasows. Nano done here for the wreck on board his comm. Tempest is almost done for Brittle. 33 minutes on the clock. Not looking good for Navy. For Team 1 on the western side. Eastern side, again, kind of been the same for a while now. We have artillery shots or missile shots. Artillery is inbound. Actually, no, that's a TML going after the mexes. This one's probably going to die. Almost T3. 99%. Will it be 99? It will be, and it will get to T3, and then it will not die because it was a T3 mex. Will he be able to save it? Maybe, maybe not. But at a minimum, he does get the upgrade finished. Would have been worse had he not gotten it? I don't know. TAC nuke started by... Oh, no, he cancels it. He has T3 on board. Sad. He is being not really shot at, but I'll be betting he falls back a little bit. T3 started here for Team 2's Sergeant as well. So maybe he'll go for missile, but I don't know. There's been a lot of Team D built throughout the match, so maybe not gun started for average. Nano done for the wreck. We do see transfer of control from Boss 11's forces has been given over or ceded over to Bannable Offense, so I don't know if that's going to be a departure or not, but maybe he has to go or something. But there's going to be a lot more mass into his coffers. Team 2, 2.5K versus 2K for Team 1. Nobody building big ticket items yet? Nope. For Team 2, anybody building big ticket items, being nukes, artillery, game enders, that sort of thing? No. None of the sort for anybody yet. Does not mean no. Bannable Offense now starting to attack nuke. TML pointed out by Orb. He's trying to do it again, but I think Team 1 spots it. Oh, I guess actually a little bit after it happened. More mexes have been eliminated. Stretching out Team 2's lead just a little bit more. Eastern side. That's about dead even now. Western side is definitely not dead even. 45% and climbing. We will see attack nuke at some point. We will see the buoy nuke. Look at all those battleships. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. That was actually number 9 if it had survived. Dang, and there's another dead one there, another dead one there. Lots of dead stuff in the water here for Team 1 and Team 2, but there's a lot of stuff for Team 1's the wreck. He's sitting at 700 plus mass income, and Bannable is sitting at almost 900. Still surprised there's no... Oh, there it is. Hostue has been built and is loading very, very quickly. Does Team 1 have adequate? Yes. And no. And no. And yes. You could probably squeeze it in for that air back there. But Boss 11 is defeated by the wreck. I think everybody kind of knows what happened. He got torpedoed to death. The battleships have torpedo on board. So definitely not really a mystery on what happened to him there. Boss talking about the game going on in the eastern side. The Yasows still not making a lot of headwind, but they are thinning out the numbers at least for Team 2. Western side, battleships just being bombarded. A little bit of salt in the chat. Sarge finishes an experimental. It is an Atlantis. Got to submerge that thing immediately. It's going to be ripped apart, I mean, by the Yasows actually as well. So it's kind of boned either way. GC done here for Team 1's Brittle, and Tempest is done, of course, for Brittle as well. Megalith is done for Bannable Offense. He has Billy Nuke on board. And now we see the slow invasion of the western side for Team 1's the wreck. Oh, and I will say it is now an even game at 5v5 with Boss 11's departure. Northeastern side, again, nothing too crazy. How's the, oh, is that a nuke? No, that's a shield. Okay. Nuke is half loaded, so still working its way up to 100%, but you know, it's second nuke. Also, oh, hold on, everything has been transferred over to Hyper and Bannable control Ks. That's another departure for Team 2, dropping this game now a 5v4 for the first time of the game. Team 1 is in the lead. That is not a kill in my mind. Could have easily fallen back and all that sort of things. I think Bannable is just kind of done But his nuke is built, not loaded, but there he goes in all of his explosive glory. Eastern side, Yassau's pushing in. Crab moving in on the western side. Looks like it's actually going to pop out of the water and actually head on land and avoid all of the torpedo nonsense. I don't know if that's the best play, though. It's probably better to hide it. I don't know. I feel like that's not really going to work for Team 1, I imagine. Sorry, for Team 2. Nuke is still loading. We have Hypers over here is almost done. Team 2 still is in this, but kind of looking dicey. But the chicken does make it to at least some sort of semblance for Team 1 side of the map. It does kill off a mech, but that's about it. Was that chicken that was built a long time ago? I think so. And it just got killed off. Now it looks like Twitch Mofo is going to follow a similar path. Sarge finishes another Atlantis. That's number 3 for him. He's pushing back a little bit. Yassau's could easily wipe that out, and we have one big Andy getting a T3 naval facility over here. The eastern side hanging out. Nice placement there. Cutting down the travel time for sure. And, of course, he still has his main one back here, so he's not really worried about losing that one just in case. Nuke says average. And now we also have a nuke done for Sarge. We have 3 nukes for Team 2. One of them is almost loaded or is almost loaded. This one is a quarter of the way. This one is halfway. And I would assume SMDs are going to be built. This one is not loaded yet. And there is one back here, and that one is also recently built. Cloaking almost done for average to protect himself. He also has the laser on board just to ensure that if any sort of spawns come into play from Team 2, that he can try to counter that as most as he can. Gunships inbound from Team 1's Brittle. Going after T3 mexes. They're wiping out those very quickly. Nuke is outbound from Team 1?
Strategic launch detected.
Hold on. Where's this nuke outbound? We have this one outbound here from Hyper. Am I just missing that nuke launcher from somewhere? Where is it? Oh, it's over here. Wait, what? Oh, was it a sub nuke? It could have been a sub. Yeah, that was a sub nuke, it looks like. There it goes. It's gonna land, and it's, there's no SMD there. So first nuke of the game. Boom! That's right, kaboom! Lands, takes out everything up there. It does look like a regular-sized nuke, but I don't see the Seraphim nuke launcher, and the Seraphim nuke launcher is that one. It's going another way. Going. Oh, it's going to snipe Rod. He's going to move too late. There he goes. Nice snipe there by Team 2's Hyper 2001. Gotta love it. Kaboom! GG YOLO says average. That is not a YOLO, but it is a nice grab nonetheless. The western side is diminishing, and that nuke launcher was killed off as well, so Team 2 is down a nuke. That one is half loaded. That one kills off 26,000 mass, but again, I got a kill for it, so definitely going to love that. Bombers over the top, gunships as well. This attack just is not going to work. It's not going to get any actual progress. And here comes a nuke over here to the northeast. Kaboom! Wipes out a chunk of the infrastructure for Team 1. All T3 naval headquarters in the water are down, and Team 2 is pushing. So while Team 1 has essentially claimed the western side, and the invasion of the Salems are underway. Look at all of that. That is so many. That's probably about 3, I'd say 3 dozen. I'd say at least 2.5 dozen, which is 30. So we can actually do the exact numbers here in a moment. We have 30. Yep, 30 right there. So that is a lot of firepower inbound, and I think we have maybe, there's more on the way too. So maybe soon to be 40. And ASS being wiped out by the AA presence by Team 2, both aircraft carriers and cruisers. Both of them have torpedoes. They have missiles on board, so more spam of the missiles for Team 2. And all of these pigeons are gone. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Tiny bit of cascade, but again, that's, kind of to be expected because there's a pigeon right next to it, and there's firepower still raining in on it. Nuke is not reloaded. This nuke is not loaded yet, and Team 1 should have adequate SMD coverage at this point. SMD is not loaded. It was just recently built. This one was wiped out. The crab somehow still alive. which is very surprising that the thing is still alive. Team 2 must have had some sort of attack in the air to wipe out everything above it. Strap bombers inbound, though. It should be more than enough to deal with this thing momentarily if they actually drop bombs. This one did not, but the other one did. Atlantis is down. One more remains. Battleships just cannot last underneath that much cruiser missile and artillery firepower. Another one is done. It looks like he's going to send that one in as well. And that western march is still approaching. Team 2 needs to get not TMD, but T2 artillery online immediately. Looks like they're going to maybe try to finish that crab. Good luck with that. That's not going to help. That nuke is probably going to be a little bit more important than anything else at this point. Crab is down. And this middle is open. But this SMD is almost loaded. This SMD is not loaded, but this one is. And the other one, there's another one. Oh, there's so many of them. Team 1 actually thinks there's a YOLO. There's not a YOLO. Oh, no, that's not a YOLO. That's a PGen. I don't know where they think a YOLO is. It doesn't exist. Maybe they just thought the nuke and thought YOLO maybe. It's never too bad to have backups. It is something to be said that you can have too many, but having a couple of them isn't bad. Artillery has been started. Second one's going to be started here shortly. And that one is outbound for the base up here to the north. For the wreck that was once under the control of Rot. That's actually Rot's original base. And essentially everything is dead in the water for Team 1. Like I said, Team 1 has control of the western, essentially half of the map here soon. And Team 2 making their approach on the eastern half, but we'll see if they actually get there in time. And Monkey is just going to be overwhelmed by firepower. We'll kill off a couple of Salems, but not enough to make a difference, unfortunately. The gun is not firing, and there it goes anyways. So nothing can really stop the push that's happening. Here comes the nuke. Kaboom! Wipes out that chunk of the map as well. The wreck will lose some eco. Team 1 is in the lead, though, 2,000 to 1.3. Another nuke outbound from Team 2? I would assume 2, because Team 2 is deploying nukes, but I could be wrong. Don't see a nuke icon anywhere. Oh, eastern side with a plan B. Gonna snipe AFK. Will he get out of range? He'll take some damage, but he won't die. And also was some missile snipes as well. So it was if that doesn't kill him, the other thing will kill him. Nice attempt there. Unfortunately, does not work. SMD was not loaded, so that actually could have killed off the nuke here. That is definitely unfortunate. And it looks like missile inbound for something. Looks like going after P-gens maybe. Nope, going after Nex. Where's it going? Oh, it's going after SMD right there. That one is loaded. One more shot will kill it off. And it will land. TMD built. No. That is unfortunate. Is there another nuke loaded? There is not. But the attack in the west is inbound. And there is no stopping that thing. Look at all of that nonsense. 63. We have 63 Salems. We have 5 dozen of those little guys. That is insane. Look at that. Look at that sea of Salems. It's like the Salem witch trials, but like in reverse at this point. Oh, geez. I heard an explosion. What was it? Oh, SSU. Okay. I just didn't want to miss a kill. And they're going to go dip back. Actually, no, they're not going to dip back into the water. Oh, maybe they will a little bit. Look at them all. Just look at them all. Crazy, crazy amount of them. Nuke is inbound? Oh, that's the nuke. Okay, from Team 2. That looks like a sub-nuke. Not a sub-nuke, but a battleship nuke. It is going to land right here. Wipes out a little bit more eco, but it's not going to matter that much. All of these nukes should be thrown back here. And it's not going to work for Team 2 at this point. 44 minutes on the clock. It's just, there's too much going on. Even if they had a game ender, that'd be very concerning due to the inbound attack with pseudo land units. Oh, and of course, kaboom. But again, not much damage done to that. GG says AFK, so he might depart. T3 naval headquarters over here to the east. We have summits being built over there. Team 2 essentially has control. I mean, yes, there's a tiny bit of control for Team 1, but not by much. And they're starting to bombard the base for Average Smurf and Joyer. Right guys hanging out over there, watching the inbound demise of his newly built monkey. The wreck builds an experimental. Don't know where he built it or what he built, but he built something. Building a Tsar. Looks like he built a crab at his base. Now we have Salem's getting close to the air grid for Team 2's Hyper. And artillery is done. No. You are not. You are not doing that. You are really using T3 artillery to target naval units. And not even just naval units, just Salem's. I mean, you pretty much would one-tap them if you hit them. But still, that is... No, just use a sub-nuke or a battleship nuke or something. That is... I mean, it's more useful at other places, but I think in his mind it's over essentially at this point. Look at that amount of firepower. Monkey would already be dead, of course, with the hit point count. Oh, it's in the it's just thousands. This is -1. This is thousands of damage per second. Absolute nonsense. T2 torp bombers inbound. Again, not going to work on their, Salem's with land legs, but, we'll kill off one or two of them maybe. The attack is still immencing. YOLO has been started, so I guess it was spotted at some point by Team 1, or maybe that's where they were building it really early. But half built, that's not going to be enough, and it's right there. Gunships inbound. Team 2 has a slight chance. If they can stop the push with the Salem's, it might be enough. I just don't know. The shield is down. T2 artillery being built right there. Should have built that earlier. And now we have shots raining in on the shields, and I don't think that YOLO is going to last much longer. Nuke is inbound. Is it going to go south? It's going to continue going north. YOLO is still alive. YOLO is going to die right about now. And that is the end of that. It was half done. Traffic jam, says Rot. Yep. That is very hilarious. Oh, that might be the thumbnail. That's really funny. Can somebody just go in a straight line, please? Oh my goodness, that is insane. And that's the match. Team 2 recalls. Yeah, with the Salem's killing off the YOLO. There really was not much left. And I don't blame Team 2. I mean, just look at the map. Yeah, they had control of the eastern side for the most part, but I mean, you still have the base to the west for the wreck. You have so many places that he could hide. I mean, more than half the map is under Team 1's control. There's just not much left for Team 2 to operate with. If the YOLO was continuing to be built, they would have stayed in it for sure. But I think the Salem's killing off the YOLO, the huge inbound threat that they still have. Look at this. There's still so many of them inbound. And Team 2 has a crab that's half done. They have a nuke, but that's half done. They have an artillery piece that was not firing at other things except Salem's, and that nuke was almost loaded. So it would have killed off some of them. There was a Fat Boy built, but it wasn't worth it, because even if maybe Twitchy Mofo's base died and they still had the other two bases, the YOLO's still dead. So it's going to be a while before it can be rebuilt. So if they do go down that route again. So it just... For Team 2, I just don't think it was worth it. And there was a nuke inbound. It was going to get shot down, so that was going to work. And it does look like artillery was landing on that side of the map, but wasn't going to kill off enough SMDs in time. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, please like the video and subscribe. And I will see all of you in the next one.